I was working right now and I just went back to start talking about the book of Esther. I don't know why I've been talking about the book of Esther for a while. Yes, for some days now, I've just been talking about the book of Esther. And like, why is that book even named after Esther? Right? Because it's more of the story of her cousin, which we call her uncle, Mordecai. All right. If you see the story just appears more to be about Mordecai. Mordecai gives her wisdom on what to do. Mordecai advises her. Mordecai is the one who is refusing to bow down, who is refusing to, honor Haman, right, based on his own Jewish culture, right? And because of that, that guy decides to say he's going to eliminate all the Jews, right? Because of one person, he decides that he's going to eliminate all the Jews. He plays his politics right, he does everything right to try to eliminate all the Jews. Now Mordecai goes back to tell Esther that, see, if you don't do this to like save me and to save us, you're also going to be part of it. And everything is a sweet story that we call generally the book of Esther. But it's just about Mordecai. I mean, somebody became a queen because he followed Mordecai's counsel. All right. Now, all of our people were to die because somebody did not just like one person. I'm a Nigerian. I am from a state that has several tribes. So I think I can speak on this. I have lived in different states with different tribes. So it is common for you to see the hatred of one particular tribe just because of one person, right? That was actually what was happening. Let us kill all the Jews just because this guy has beefing for Mordecai, right? Yeah, it's clear. Just some of those things we get to see. His life. Such is life. Then we see him say, you go and do this. I cannot do anything. I'm not in a position to do this. But since you're in a position to do this, you go and do it, right? And there are just many amazing lessons there that see many times the people that you get the best counsel from may not be the people who are highest in position. So Esther got counsel from a gatesman. All right. For somebody at the gate, somebody he just in an honorable position to be the gate of the emperor to king or whatever his title was at that particular time, Xerxes. And we understand that a time came when the Jews were to be killed. Mordecai needed somebody who had influence to change that because death was coming for him and coming for his people. He needed somebody in a position of influence to change that. All right. So deliverance came from everybody because they had a connection in the palace through somebody you may call a gatesman. Right. There are just so many amazing lessons. Amazing lessons. I've been thinking about it. I'm just thinking about it and learning and trying to see how some stories actually go. You think there is a story of one man, but it's actually the story of another person, right? It's quite interesting. It's quite interesting. I'm wondering why they named the book Esther. Okay, maybe because Esther acted on the wisdom of her cousin uncle, whichever way you want to call it. We understand seeing her acting based on the wisdom of the eunuch. It's a smart book. You want to go and read that book again, and this time read it from the eyes of Mordecai. There's another interesting part from the eyes of Mordecai that I want to draw your attention to is that I have seen people, because I have lived among different tribes and I come from a state with different tribes. I've seen people who get angry because they want you to greet them or do things the way they do it in their tribe. You see, Mordecai refused to always bow and honor this particular man because he was a Jew, because as a Jew, he's not supposed to do that. So I get to see that quite often. So like I'm a Jew and I live here, and people like, oh, I live here in the West, and people like, oh, a woman is supposed to kneel down to greet an elder. And I'm like, where I come from, kneeling down is a punishment, right? It's not salutation. So if my wife does not kneel, it's not because she's disrespecting you. It's because where she is coming from and the person she is married to, they don't kneel to greet. It has a different interpretation. Or you're supposed to prostrate. I remember the first time I prostrate a lot these days. I do it. I actually do it for fun. Forgive me. I actually do it more for fun. I see it more as something for fun than something that you are doing for honor and respect. I prostrate, I just see for fun. Hey, like let's prostrate. Ah, Baba, I want to prostrate and give you. I see it more for fun, right? I enjoy it, so I enjoy it. It's not so. It's not the interpretation of oh, I'm greeting you. It is like hey, I'm hailing you, I'm saluting you. So I see it more or less like fun. And at times people like oh, where I come from, we don't do that. I can greet you. I can bow, I can stand. I shouldn't prostrate. My wife shouldn't kneel down. And people are like, you're wrong. You're supposed to be when you go to Rome, you're supposed to behave like the Romans. When you go to this, they are correct. They are very correct. So many times I behave like the Romans. Many times my wife behaves like the Romans in Rome. But you see, the book of Esther, all the drama, all the spiritual things, most of the spiritual things we quote out from the book of Esther was because somebody refused to abandon his culture, even though he was a slave. Even though he was a slave in another place, let's not say slave, let's say prisoner of war. Even though he was a prisoner of war in another place, he refused to let go of his culture. That's the whole entire book of Esther to a large extent. Right? All the drama in the book of Esther is because one person insisted on his culture. And we don't see God condemning him or them be condemned. We will see a supernatural salvation. Then follow the culture of where you live. But I'm only just, I'm also a lawyer. Aside being a counselor, psychologist, I'm also a lawyer. So I get to just think around these things. Like a country, a people with 12 tribes. All of them were to be wiped out because one guy insisted that in my culture, we don't bow to greet you. And I'm not going to bow to greet you. Even though I may be maybe like a gatesman and you are a superior officer, I know I'm not going to bow to greet you. It's crazy. Very crazy. I don't know if you have ever thought about the Bible story that way. Right. And one guy decided to kill a whole people just because he was offended by one person. Like you're not happy with one person, so your goal also kill all the people. Like all these guys are your prisoners of war. They are your slaves. They are your servants. They are you working on your economy and the rest. You want to kill all of them just because you are unhappy with one person. What a wisdom! That wisdom is very foolish, my guys. Anyway, you get the gist. Let's just think about it. Something I'm still thinking about the book of Esther, right? You rock.